01 Making conversation. Verbs have various forms in the present tense, including continuous and perfect. You need to understand these differences when making question tags. New language present tenses are our vocabulary meeting new people, new skill using question tags. 1.1 Key language present simple and present continuous. Present simple. The present simple refers to something that happens in general or as part of a daily routine. Present continuous. The present continuous refers to something that is happening right now and will continue for a limited amount of time. I usually cycle to work, but today I'm walking instead. 12. 1.2 Rewrite the note, correcting the highlighted errors. Hi Jose. Today is being my first day in my new job, so I leave the house early. I'm being a bit nervous, but I'm also being very excited. Anyway, I already run late, and I'm needing to leave to catch the bus. Don't be forgetting to pick up some milk on your way home from work tonight. See you later. Hi Jose. Today is my first day. 1.3 Key language present perfect and present perfect continuous. Present perfect. Use the present perfect to talk about the recent past or general experiences in a lifetime up until now. Present perfect continuous. Use the present perfect continuous to talk about an action that started in the past, but is continuing until now or has present results. I've just started a new job. I've been meeting new people all week. 1.4 Fill in the gaps by putting the verbs in the present perfect or the present perfect continuous. I have been waiting. Wait. For a bus all morning, but I still haven't seen. Opening parenthesis. Not see. 1. Opening parenthesis. Read. For hours. My eyes. 2 Has the mail. My leg. Opening parenthesis. Arrive. Yet. I. Opening parenthesis. Hurt. All day, but I. Opening parenthesis. Start. Hurting. Opening parenthesis. Expect. A letter all week. Opening parenthesis. Not see. A doctor yet. 4 Have you. 5 Have you. Opening parenthesis. See. My keys. I. Opening parenthesis. Hear. About Carl. He. Opening parenthesis. Look. For them for ages. Opening parenthesis. Decide. To move. Opening parenthesis. Finish. Exclamation mark. I. Opening parenthesis. Write. This essay for ages. 7 Have you ever. Opening parenthesis. Visit. France. We. Opening parenthesis. Look. At brochures. Opening parenthesis. Try. To reach Tao all day, but he. Opening parenthesis. Not answer. Yet. 13. 1.5 Key language question tags. If the main clause of the sentence is positive, the question tag is negative, and vice versa. In most cases, the question tag uses the verb do. Single quote. Question tags are small questions added to the end of a statement in informal conversation. You like meeting new people, don't you? You don't like meeting new people, do you? If the main verb is be is also used in the question tag. The negative question form of I am is aren't I. Single quote. I am working tomorrow, aren't I? George isn't working today, is he? If the main clause of the sentence contains an auxiliary verb or a modal verb, the question tag uses this verb. You have met the new boss, haven't you? We shouldn't interrupt him, should we? 14. 1.6 Match the statements to the correct question tags. Nina's always late for work. Are they? 1. They aren't very welcoming. Does he? He should try harder to be friendly. Has she? 3. She hasn't made many friends here. Isn't she? 4. He doesn't like going to new places. Wouldn't they? They're so happy to be here. They would be here if they could. Aren't they? Shouldn't he? 1.7 Key language intonation with question tags. If the intonation goes up at the end of the question tag, it is a question requiring an answer. You'd like to move offices, wouldn't you? Opening square bracket. I am asking whether or not you would like to move offices. Closing square bracket. If the intonation goes down at the end of a question tag, the speaker is just inviting the listener to agree. You've already met Evelyn, haven't you? Opening square bracket. I already know you've met Evelyn. Closing square bracket. 1.8 Listen to the sentences and mark whether or not an answer is required. You came here last year, didn't you? Answer required, answer not required. You moved to the other side of town, didn't you? Answer required, answer not required. They haven't treated you very well, have they? Answer required, answer not required. You're staying with your dad tonight, aren't you? Answer required, answer not required. For you bought something for dinner, didn't you? Answer required, answer not required. You don't have any money for a taxi, do you? Answer required, answer not required. Maria doesn't seem to like Sue, does she? Answer required, answer not required. 1.9 Add question tags to the sentences and say them with both types of intonation. Clara doesn't still work for the same does she company. Question mark. People don't have their own office space here. You have been introduced to Mr. Thomas. Question mark. You'd like to come to dinner with us all tonight. Question mark. Oscar and Kate aren't here yet. Question mark. 01 Checklist. Present tenses. Are meeting new people. Using question tags. 15. 02 Action and state verbs. Verbs that describe actions or events are known as action or dynamic verbs, whereas those that describe states are known as state or stative verbs. New language state verbs in continuous forms are vocabulary action and state verbs new skill describing states. 2.1 Key language action and state verbs. Action verbs can be used in simple and continuous forms. State verbs are not usually used in continuous forms. Action. I read every day. A. I am reading right now. State. I own 2 cars. I am owning 2 cars. X. 2.2 Key language using state verbs in continuous forms. Some verbs can be both action and state verbs. When these verbs are describing an action, they can be used in continuous forms. Action. I am thinking about taking up fencing. Opening square bracket. Right now, I'm considering taking up fencing. Closing square bracket. The chef is tasting his soup. Opening square bracket. The chef is testing the soup's flavor. Closing square bracket. State. I think fencing is a great sport. Opening square bracket. In my opinion, fencing is a great sport. Closing square bracket. This soup tastes disgusting. Opening square bracket. The soup has a disgusting flavor. Closing square bracket. 16. Other state verbs can be used in continuous forms. They keep their stative meaning but emphasize a change, development, or temporary situation. Continuous form. Are you feeling better today? You seemed sick yesterday. Simple form. How do you feel about modern art? 2.3 Mark the sentences that are correct. Oh, 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 oh. He's wanting to buy a house. He wants to buy a house. She has long, wavy hair. She's having long, wavy hair. 2 Sorry, I'm not believing you. Sorry, I don't believe you. 3 That jacket fits you very well. That jacket is fitting you very well. I rarely think about the past. I'm rarely thinking about the past. 6 Jess is having a great time at the party. Jess has a great time at the party. That milk is smelling dreadful. That milk smells dreadful. I'm thinking about going home soon. I think about going home soon. I'm slowly realizing the problem here. I slowly realize the problem here. Right pointing arrow. You seem unhappy. Can I help? You're seeming unhappy. Can I help? 2.4 Fill in the gaps using the words in the panel. Hi Sarah. I'm writing about Gavin. I think there's something wrong. I'm not that it's anything serious, but he doesn't to be his usual happy self. Maybe he's not. Job. I was going to. Perhaps you would. A meal. Let me know what. In his knew that the three of us go out for a drink or think. You. Tina. Seem. Suggest. Think. Suggesting. Prefer. Fitting. O2. Checklist. State verbs in continuous forms. Are action and state verbs. Describing states. 17. O3 using collocations. Collocations are often formed of two words, but can contain more. Using them will make you a more fluent English speaker. 3.1 Key language collocations. Collocations are pairs or groups of words that naturally go together and sound right to experienced users of a language. New language collocations are vocabulary, beliefs, and opinions. New skill talking about your life. He has a low opinion of the film. He has a light opinion of the film. Greater than. Light can have a similar meaning to low. Not much. But does not sound natural next to opinion. Single quote. There was light rain forecast today. There was low rain forecast today. Low can have a similar meaning to light, but does not collocate with rain. Single quote. R 3.2 Fill in the gaps using the words in the panel. To create more collocations. 18. It is extremely unlikely she doesn't have any. That there will be a happy ending. Close. Sometimes the only solution is to all their lives they appeared to be, unfortunately, the financial crisis. 5 He first. Family left, only an uncle. Ruined his career. Went. Your best. And hope. Do. Married. Happily. Into business when he was only 17. Looking at old photographs can stir up. I can distinctly. Looking at him, the difference in age is unlikely. Memories. Clearly. Meeting him 20 years ago. Remember. Visible. 3.3 Read the article and answer the questions. Lara Estelle has recently died. True, false. Lara was a famous fashion designer. True. False. The author's mother does not like Lara Estelle's music. True. False. The author's father was a soccer fan. True, false. Lara became famous in the 1980s. True. False. Stephen was Lara's second husband. True. False. Lara and Stephen are no longer married. True. False. The author's father has forgiven Lara now. True, false. 58. Culture and arts. Life, love, and Lara. Lara Estelle celebrates her 70th birthday today. It's difficult to imagine now, but in her younger days Lara, the Shades, Estelle was always in the news. How did she create such a sensation? Opinions are divided. Some people say that she was a brilliant musician with an iconic fashion sense. Others believe she was the cause of one of the country's most dramatic sporting upsets. My parents' views on Lara Estelle are poles apart and, therefore, typical of many of their generation. My mother still loves Lara's music and used to have the same platinum white hair and dark sunglasses as her idol. My father, however, remembers 1980 and his favorite soccer team losing in the final game of the season. He still firmly believes that Lara caused Dun City to lose. But how could a singer cause such drama? The quality of her music is a matter of opinion, but in 1979 Lara was a top-selling artist. She met her first husband Stephen Jones, Dun City's star player, backstage at one of her concerts. Within weeks they were engaged. Lara told Stephen that, to prove his love for her, their wedding must be on the same day as the league final that season. He agreed, and their fans that their team lost because is still a popular belief among City. Jones did not play. The couple divorced a year later and City never won any trophies again. To this day, my father dislikes Lara's music. Stephen and Lara were married in a glamorous ceremony in 1979. RR 3.4 match the definitions to the collocations. 2. A subject on which people hold different views. Completely opposed. An opinion held by a lot of people. People hold differing points of view. To hold a strong opinion that something is true. Opinions are divided. A popular belief. A matter of opinion. Firmly believe. Poles apart. 19. 3.5 Read Mariam's blog and answer the questions using full sentences. K. Mariam Davies. Wildlife photographer. C. What is Mariam's profession? Mariam is a wildlife photographer. Where is Mariam from? About me. I was born in a small town in northern France and went to college in Scotland to study architecture. While at college, I joined the photography club. We used to go on field trips to amazing places and I met my husband, the landscape photographer Julian Davies, while photographing dolphins from a boat. During my last year in college, a wildlife magazine published a number of my photos of birds. This was a major turning point for me and, after we graduated, Julian and I became freelance photographers. We were based in Europe while our twin boys were growing up, but since they both graduated last year, we have started exploring and photographing further afield. We spent some time in Africa this year and want to take photographs in Japan and Korea next year. What subject did she study in college? 3. How did she meet her husband? What important turning point in her life does she mention? Do Mariam and Julian have children? Where are they planning to travel next year? 20. 3.6 Listen to the audio and match the events to when they happened. 23 years ago. This morning. 1 month ago. 25 years ago. 3 years ago. 3.7 Cross out the incorrect words in each sentence. Lisa was received an email from her friend every morning, this morning. Lisa was went to Thailand 25 years ago. Greater than Bill had taught, was teaching when Lisa arrived in Thailand. Right pointing arrow Lisa and Bill were got married 23 years ago, in March. Lisa had been has traveled for 25 years before she returned. 6. Barbara has graduated from college last month. 3.8 Use WHEN and WHILE to describe the events on the timeline, speaking out loud. Tip. Use when for completed actions and while for continuous actions. Moved to China, got married, had a baby, wrote my thesis, started a small business. Studying full-time. Living in China. Studying part-time. I moved to China. While I was studying full-time. I got married. 2. I wrote my thesis. I was. 03. Checklist. Collocations. I had a baby. I started a small business. Beliefs and opinions. Talking about your life. 21. 04 Complex descriptions. When you describe something using more than one adjective, the adjectives usually have to go in a specific order. There are several categories of adjectives. 4.1 Key language adjective order. Opinion adjectives come before factual ones in a sentence. General. Opinion adjectives always come before specific opinion adjectives. New language general and specific adjectives are vocabulary personalities. New skill ordering adjectives. Opinion adjectives. Fact adjective. What a nice, friendly little cat. Nice is a general opinion adjective. It can describe lots of different things. Friendly is a specific opinion adjective. It usually only describes people or animals. 4.2 Further examples. Adjective order. It's a fantastic, exciting new movie. What a horrible, ugly plastic table. He's a wonderful, kind old man. That's a lovely, stylish cotton shirt. Fact adjectives. 4.3 How to form adjective order. Like opinion adjectives, fact adjectives must go in a particular order. Opinion adjectives. General, specific, size, shape, age, color, material, water, nice, friendly little, he's a that's a, wonderful, kind, lovely, stylish. 1222. OEO, old. 1222. Cotton. 22. 222. Cat. Man. Shirt. 4.4 Write the adjectives from the panel in the correct groups. General, specific, size, shape, age, color, material, awful, awful, cruel, orange, elderly, silk, round, green, huge, oval, modern, square, terrible, tiny, ancient, leather, metal, tasty, red. 4.5 Write the adjectives in the correct order. Enormous, expensive, awesome, uncomfortable, wooden, horrible. It's a horrible, uncomfortable, wooden chair. I don't want to buy it. Rude, terrible. I don't like him at all. He's a man. Let's not invite him to the party. Nice, young, intelligent. My mother thinks he's a boy. Brown, friendly, sweet. 3 Dad, look at this. Puppy. Can we take him for a walk? Comfortable, wonderful. 4 Should we buy this sofa for the living room? We really need a new one. 23. 4.6 Read the performance reviews and answer the questions. X. Performance review. Jorge Perez. Jorge is very hardworking and his confidence has grown considerably since he joined the company last summer. He often looks beyond the immediate issues and is proactive in dealing with any potential problems before they arise. He has shown himself to be fair-minded, and he often helps others in his team. In fact, he has proved that he has a natural flair for communication and leadership. We are delighted that Jorge has recently started a leadership skills course, and we will look to promote him when it is completed. Jorge has worked for the same company for several years. True. False not given. The author is pleased that Jorge is taking a leadership course. True false not given. Jorge is going to be promoted next month. True false not given. Performance review. Maria Moran. Given that Maria works in the HR department, we were hoping that her communication skills would have developed more. Calling one of her colleagues bone idle during an appraisal is typical of her blunt approach. Fortunately, the colleague in question is broad-minded and accepted an apology. Despite taking part in several training opportunities, Maria continues to take a narrow-minded approach to her work. Her refusal to acknowledge other people's opinions can make her seem big-headed and arrogant. 3 Maria works in the sales department. True not given. False. 4 Maria has taken part in a number of training courses. True false. Not given. 6 Maria is fairly broad-minded in terms of her approach to work. True false not given. 24. 4.7 Listen to the audio and mark the correct summary. A manager is talking to her employee, Paul, about his performance at work during the past year. On the whole, Paul hasn't really settled in very well in his new role. He is hardworking, but needs to work on his team building and communication skills. On the whole, Paul has settled in really well in his new role. He is a hardworking and popular member of the team, but he needs to work on his communication skills. On the whole, Paul has settled in really well in his new role. He is hardworking, but needs to try to become more popular and improve his communication skills. 4.8 Fill in the gaps using the negative prefixes in the panel. They were really rude and unfriendly. He gossips and is kind to his co-workers. Her office desk and her work are organized. His last employer said he was trustworthy. He makes mistakes because he's patient. Oh, she doesn't realize how sensitive she is. 8. She's loyal to the company. 3. He's 25 now, but he's rather mature at work. I'm afraid she's quite an efficient worker. Dis. In. 4.9. Find 10 adjectives in the grid and write them under the correct heading. GEXCELLENT ONS NEBNLLNRTQEPVNDEFJPOPULARD RINREIRTIUTCOIQVVUEPCAMDKIEDISLOYALAECDHZLTSLOZCOUTZEVERsus VJNIDLCMATIUREGJCAYPAITIINTDOBCNAFGEIGAROGANTD. Positive adjectives. 4. Helpful. Negative adjectives. Disloyal. 04. Checklist. General and specific adjectives. Personalities. Ordering adjectives. 25. 05. Making general statements. It is very useful to know how to start sentences with the word it in English. You can use it is at the beginning of a sentence to make a general statement about something. 5.1 Key language introductory IT. Certain set phrases beginning it is can be used at the start of a sentence. It is the subject of the sentence and can be used to express a general truth or belief. New language introductory it are vocabulary talents and abilities new skill expressing general truths. 26. IT clause. Infinitive clause. It is easy to make mistakes in a new language. Some it clauses are generally followed by a to infinitive. IT clause. THAT clause. It is a shame that so many people give up. Some it clauses are often followed by that clauses. 5.2 Further examples introductory IT. It is important to be relaxed about making mistakes. It is essential to give yourself time to study regularly. It's true that being able to speak a second language is useful. It's unlikely that you will be comfortable speaking aloud at first. It is difficult to remember new words if you don't write them down. It's 5.3 Fill in the gaps using the words in the panel. Important to have the skills to communicate globally. With busy work and social lives, it's 2 languages are so useful. It is. Most people have little time to study. 3 Learning doesn't have to be expensive. It is not. So few people learn a second language. Spend a lot of money. Try internet study groups. It is 6 Don't worry if you need time. It's easy to. A shame that. Unlikely that. Essential to. Meet other language learners online. You'll be able to speak fluently quickly. Important to true that. 5.4 Key language leading with an infinitive phrase. When you want to emphasize the contents of the infinitive clause, you can put it at the front of the sentence. The construction with it at the start is much more common. It is easy to begin learning. To begin learning is easy. Keeping it going is harder. Placing the infinitive clause at the start works particularly well with short sentences. 5.5 Cross out the incorrect words in each sentence. It is worth working hard. 2. That. Give up now would be a shame. Remember, it's important to that it be relaxed about making mistakes. With so many options, it's no longer difficult to that it find language courses online. 3.2 That it take the exam now would be a waste of time. She hasn't studied at all. 2. That it is unlikely that he will finish the class before the end of the year. 6 Don't give up. It's true too, that, the more you study, the better you will become. 27. 5.6 Read the forum posts and answer the questions. Who is learning a language which involves clicking? Alice. LingoNet. Dave May. Sam. Are you a about NEWS? Forum. Contact. Who finds their language lessons a little boring? Alice, Dave May, Sam. Who can speak a number of different languages very well? Alice, Dave May, Sam. 3. Who was encouraged to learn a language by someone else? Alice, Dave May. Sam. Who thinks they have a natural ability for learning languages? Alice. Dave. May, Sam. Who is conducting research about learning languages? Alice, Dave May, Sam. Language learner? Alice. I'm working on a TV program and am looking for people to share language learning experiences. Do you have a hidden talent or even a complete inability to learn languages? Get in touch. Dave. I'm trying to learn Native American Pawnee. I don't have any natural ability and most words have at least 10 syllables. The lessons drag on a bit, but I'll keep on doing them until I'm fluent. May. I think I have an aptitude for language learning. I'm fluent in 4 languages. I'd love to learn Sentinelese, but it's impossible because no one knows what it sounds like. Sam. I've only ever spoken English, but one of my professors has a remarkable capacity for languages and speaks Xhosa, a South African language with click sounds. He asked if I'd like to learn it, and I took him up on the offer. It's very difficult, but he's shown me some online videos to help. 5.7 Fill in the gaps to create collocations using the phrases in 5.6. I was never good at learning languages, but I discovered a hidden talent after I left school. I am surprised that my son, greater than unfortunately, I have an aptitude for copying accents, inability to remember vocabulary. Some people appear to have a natural to speak a number of languages. My father had a remarkable to memorize lists of words. 40. 28. C. 5.8 Responds to the audio, speaking out loud. Do you like learning new languages? It isn't easy to learn a new language, but I find it a lot of fun. Why do you think learning languages is important? It is important to. What advice would you give to new learners? It's best to. What is the hardest thing about learning languages? It is difficult to. 05. Checklist. Introductory. Talents and abilities. Expressing general truths. Review the English you have learned in Units 1 to 5. New language. Present tenses. Sample sentence. I usually cycle. Today I'm walking instead. I've just started a job. I've been meeting people. The chef is tasting his soup. Action and state verbs. This soup tastes disgusting. He has a low opinion of the film. Collocations. There was light rain forecast today. Adjective order. Introductory, it. What a nice, friendly little cat. It is easy to make mistakes in a new language. Unit 1.1, 1.3, 2.1, 2.2, 3.1, 4.1, 4.3, 5.1, 29, 29, 06 Vocabulary. 6.1 Travel and tourism. We need a vacation to get away from it all. Get away from it all. Opening square bracket. Go somewhere relaxing for a break. When we go to Paris, will we have time to go sightseeing? Go sightseeing. Opening square bracket. Visit interesting buildings and places as a tourist. 30. We won a once-in-a-lifetime trip to New Zealand. Once in a lifetime. Opening square bracket. Unique and unrepeatable. Prize. Winner. I always feel homesick when I travel abroad. Feel homesick. Opening square bracket. Be sad because you miss your home and family. I've never been anywhere like it. It was such a culture shock. Culture shock. Opening square bracket. Feeling of confusion or distress. When visiting a different place or culture. They lived in a house off the beaten track in the country. Off the beaten track. A long way from other people, buildings, and roads. The hotels in this area all look a little bit run down. Run down. Opening square bracket. In a bad condition through lack of care or repair. There are so many birds in this unspoiled countryside. Unspoiled. Opening square bracket. Not changed, damaged, or built on by people. I'll never settle down. I get itchy feet every few years. Itchy feet. Opening square bracket. A desire to travel or move. My son's thirst for adventure worries me sometimes. Thirst for adventure. Opening square bracket. A desire for exciting experiences. We're going to look around the flower district this morning. Look around. Opening square bracket. Explore an area or place. Every time I drive into the city I get hopelessly lost. Hopelessly lost. Opening square bracket. Totally unable to find your way. We stopped off at a couple of museums along the way. Stop off. Opening square bracket. Pause a journey in one place before continuing. You will get your boarding passes when you check in. Check in. Opening square bracket. Register your arrival at an airport or hotel. We have to check out of the hotel before 1 p.m. Check out of somewhere. Pay your bill and leave a hotel. We're going to check out the zoo tomorrow. Check out something, check something out. See if something or someone is interesting. 00. The first leg of the journey is a long flight to Singapore. Leg of a journey. Opening square bracket. A stage in a journey from one place to another. It's only a weekend getaway, so we won't need much luggage. Getaway. Opening square bracket. A vacation, particularly a short one. I'm really looking forward to seeing the pyramids. Look forward to something. Feel excited about something that is going to happen. My parents came to the airport to see me off. See off somebody, see somebody off. Go to the station or airport to say goodbye to someone. 31. 07 Phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs occur in many different forms. They have two or more parts, which are sometimes separable. They are very common, especially in spoken English. 7.1 Key language phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs contain a verb and one or more particles. One verb can use different particles to form many different phrasal verbs. Asterisk New language phrasal verbs overview our vocabulary travel. New skill using complex phrasal verbs. We must check in at noon. She always checks in early. The verb agrees with the subject. The particle never changes. 7.2 Rewrite the sentences, correcting the errors in the phrasal verbs. He works at least twice a week. He works out at least twice a week. Right pointing arrow. They are take downing the offensive posters today. Be careful, it's absolutely pour downing with rain. She'll have a backup. She always backs up her files. 2 He's behind on his work, so he needs to catch up. They split ups every time they have an argument. 7.3 Key language separable phrasal verbs. If a phrasal verb has a direct object, the direct object can sometimes go between the verb and the particle. If the direct object is a pronoun, it must go between the verb and the particle. He filled in the customs form. He filled the customs form in. He filled it in. He filled in it. X. 32. 7.4 Rewrite the sentences, separating the phrasal verbs. The school is putting on a show. The school is putting a show on. I'll pick up your shopping for you. 2 They're putting up posters outside again. 7.5 Rewrite the sentences using pronouns. She is looking up the location. She is looking it up. He should ask Mary out if he wants to. Remember to take out the recycling later. Have you checked out the restaurant menu? 4. He hasn't set up the computer yet. You should send the phone back if it's broken. Could you turn off the lights when you leave? 7.6 Key language THREE word phrasal verbs. Some phrasal verbs are made up of more than 2 words. In such cases, the spoken stress falls on the second word. Verb plus particle plus preposition. She always comes up with exciting travel plans. The stress is on up here. 7.7 Say the sentences out loud, filling in the gaps using the phrasal verbs in the panel. My sister's always coming up with ways to save money. Keep up with. Get away with. My big brother is a CEO. I have a lot to live up to come up with. Slow down. I can't. You anymore, I'm tired. His parents aren't very strict. He. Everything. 33. 34. 7.8 Read the article and number the pictures in the order they happened. Malaysia. New school. F. P. I. Oi. Your life story. My year off turned into a career. When I was a teenager, I decided to take a gap year before going to university. I had already done loads of research online and decided to go to a Greek island to pick olives. I had calculated that I could earn enough money to travel cheaply to Asia. Although the people were wonderful, by the end of the olive harvest I felt I was a bit cut off on such a small island, so I bought a plane ticket and set off to Malaysia. While I was in Malaysia, I decided to become an English teacher. I knew right away that teaching was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. A short while later, I graduated with a degree in teaching. After just 10 years, I opened my very first English language school. 7.9 Listen to the audio and answer the questions. Top travel writer Maria Soames is talking about how she first became interested in travel writing. Which country did Maria first travel to? Vietnam, Indonesia, Cambodia. Which animals did Maria want to see? Chameleons, kangaroos, Komodo dragons. What job does Maria do, besides writing? Tour guide, travel representative, magazine editor. Where did Maria record her experiences? Diary, notebook, blog. Which of the following hasn't Maria written? Travel guides, newspaper articles, travel blog. What reason does Maria not give for liking her job? Meeting people, material for writing, good pay. 7.10 Match the definitions to the phrasal verbs. Go to a place of departure with someone to say goodbye. Stop someone from going somewhere and isolate them. Pause a journey in one place before continuing. Start flying. Start a trip. Take off. See somebody off. Stop off. Set off. Cut off. 7.11 Look at the pictures and use the phrasal verbs from 7.10. To complete the sentences. I like to stop off for coffee on my way to work. Our plane was due to. 2. We have to. An hour ago. Really early for our vacation. Right pointing arrow. He went with her to the train station too. They missed the ferry, so they were. From the mainland. 07. Checklist. Phrasal verbs overview. Travel. Using complex phrasal verbs. 35. 08 Narrative tenses. When telling a story, even if you're just talking about something that happened recently, you need to use a variety of tenses so that the story can be understood easily. New language. The past perfect continuous vocabulary, travel, adjectives and idioms. New skill. Talking about a variety of past actions. 36. 8.1 Key language narrative tenses. You can use different past tenses to show when past actions or states overlap, or to say which took place first. Past simple. The past simple describes actions or states that happened in a specific finished time period. A specific finished time period, last summer, is specified so that the past simple is used. Last summer, we flew to London. There's so much to do there. Past continuous. The past continuous describes an action that began before, and possibly continued after, another past action. While we were walking around the city, we took some photos in front of Big Ben. You often use the past simple and the past continuous together to say that one action interrupted a longer one. Past perfect. The past perfect describes an action or state that happened before something else in the past. This action happened before something else in the past. The trip abroad. So the past perfect is used. Fortunately, we had looked up all the best places to go beforehand. Your. Now. 8.2 Fill in the gaps by putting the verbs in the past simple or past continuous. We were flying. Opening parenthesis. Fly. Over France when we saw. Opening parenthesis. See. The Alps for the first time. Opening parenthesis. Walk. Down the road when someone. Opening parenthesis. Ask. Me to take their photo. To someone. Opening parenthesis. Talk. During the tour until we. Opening parenthesis. Tell. Them to be quiet. 31. We. Opening parenthesis. Stop. Twice to take photos while I. Opening parenthesis. Drive. Through the country. Opening parenthesis. Decide. To order some champagne while we. Opening parenthesis. Eat. Lunch. We were lost and our feet. Opening parenthesis. Ache. Before we finally. Opening parenthesis. Find. A map shop. 8.3 Complete the sentences using the past perfect, speaking out loud. Our friend told us the city tour was great, so we went on it. We went on the city tour because our friend had told us it was great. We walked all around the city and my feet really ached by the end of the day. My feet really ached by the end of the day because we spent a long time planning the trip and it was perfect. The trip was perfect because we crossed over the wrong bridge and got completely lost. We got completely lost because our tour guide recommended a great show, so we went to see it. We went to see a great show because 37. 8.4 Key language. The past perfect continuous. You use the past perfect continuous to describe an action or activity that was happening before, another moment, in the past. He had been learning English for 2 years before he went to London. 38. Nan. 2 years before. 8.5 How to form the past perfect continuous. Past. Now. Subject. Had. Been. Present participle. Rest of sentence. He had been learning English for 2 years. 8.6 Fill in the gaps by putting the verbs into the past perfect continuous. They had been flying. Opening parenthesis. Fly. For ages, so she decided to walk around the aisles. 1 We. Opening parenthesis. Wait. For at least an hour when the taxi finally arrived. Greater than I eventually went to the pharmacy because I. Opening parenthesis. Not feel. Well for days. 3 We went to see the movie because they. Opening parenthesis. Promote. It for months. The streets were beautiful and white because it. Opening parenthesis. Snow. All night. 8.7 Read the article and answer the questions. Travel Underground is on TV on Fridays. True, false, not given. Travel Underground is a one-off documentary. True, false, not given. Question mark. The city was rediscovered by accident. True, false, not given. Derinkuyu is Turkey's deepest underground city. True, false, not given. People use the city as a place to stay safe. True, false, not given. TV guide. What's on TV tonight? Tonight, 9 p.m. This week, the travelable story of Derinkuyu in his week, the Travel Underground series visits Turkey. Cappadocia. Back in 1963, a resident had been knocking a wall down in his house, but stopped when something caught his eye. He decided to keep on digging, and it was soon obvious that he had discovered something incredible. This documentary charts the fascinating history of Derinkuyu, the deepest underground city in Turkey. Far below the surface, Derinkuyu had been a place of safety for many people for hundreds of years. 8.8 Listen to the audio and mark the correct summary. The underground city's tour lasts for 1 day. You need to pack your own lunch, and you can't take too much luggage with you. The tour lasts for 2 days, so you need to take lots of luggage with you and an overnight bag. There is a traditional lunch included. 3. The tour takes place over 2 days. You get a chance to explore by yourself, but you shouldn't take a lot of luggage. The tour starts in the underground city, with a lunch on the second day. It's just a short tour, so there's no need for an overnight bag. 8.9 Match the definitions to the phrases used in 8.8. Make a decision on the spot. Very early in the morning. Far from central or popular areas. Bright and early. Play it by ear. Travel light. Take few things with you on a trip. Off the beaten track. 08 Checklist. The past perfect continuous are travel adjectives and idioms. Talking about a variety of past actions. 39.09 Giving advice and opinions. When you want to give advice or make recommendations, you can use a variety of modal verbs. You can vary the strength of your advice by using different modals. New language modals for advice and opinion. Vocabulary recommendations. 9.1 Key language making recommendations. One of the most common ways of recommending something or making a suggestion is to use modal verbs. When you offer advice, you often also give your opinion about a topic. New skill giving advice and opinions. Tip. You can add emphasis by putting really in front of should, ought to, and must. Single quote. 40. General suggestion. Could you visit the park? It's nice. Stronger suggestion. Visit the castle. It's great. Should you? 2. Very strong suggestion. You must visit the palace. It is beautiful. 9.2 Mark the speech bubbles that include recommendations. My son is going to Paris next week. You went last year, didn't you? Yes, I did. He should visit the Tuileries Garden. It's beautiful. You really must try the new Italian restaurant on Main Street. I'm going there at lunchtime. Why don't you come with me? It's such a sunny day. You could go to the park later if you have time. I have to go shopping. I'll definitely try to go if I finish early. You. What should I do for my birthday this year? I can't believe I'll be 30. You ought to have a big party with all your friends. It would be great. 9.3 Fill in the gaps using the recommendations from the panel. The food in the restaurant is fresh and homemade. The selection at breakfast you should definitely eat there. Was just awesome. Everything about this hotel, from the dark interior to the hard stares of the grumpy staff, was unwelcoming. The hotel's employees are wonderful. They did everything to make our honeymoon perfect. Not bad, although the furniture in the hotel was falling apart. The walls were very thin and it was quite noisy. I paid for a room with a view of the ski slopes, but all I could see was the wall of the building across from us. Outstanding. I can understand the rave reviews for this great place. Our balcony overlooks the ocean. You should tell them if it's a special occasion. You might want to bring earplugs. You must ask for a room with an ocean view. You could ask to change rooms if this happens. You should definitely eat there. They ought to hire a new receptionist. 9.4 Listen to the audio and mark whether Jeff liked or disliked each activity. Like, dislike, like, dislike, like, dislike, like, dislike, 3 like, dislike, 5 like, dislike, 41. 9.5 Key language giving advice. You can also use modals to give advice based on facts. These can highlight the negative consequences of ignoring the advice. You should wear a hat. It's very sunny. General advice. You must wear a hat or you'll get sunburned. Strong advice. There are negative consequences if it is not followed. 9.6 Other ways to give advice. You can also give advice using the phrases, if I were you. ... And, you had better. ... Single quote opening parenthesis. Usually contracted to, you'd better. ... Single quote closing parenthesis. ... This is a fixed phrase for giving advice. As if you were the listener. If I were you, I would wear a hat. You'd better wear a hat. This is used to give very strong advice. Tip. You might hear people say, if I was you. ... But this is incorrect in formal English. 42. It may even suggest a threat. 9.7 Say the sentences out loud, choosing the correct words. The open-air concert hall is amazing. You really ought to, might see it. That snake is poisonous. You could go to the doctor about that bite or it'll get worse. We had better go back to the boat. It's leaving soon and we don't want to miss it. Perhaps you could go to France this summer. That would be nice. Everyone says the castle is stunning and that we could see the view from the tower. Hi. 9.8 Read Anne's postcard. And mark what she liked and disliked. The airline. Like. Dislike. Oh, the beach resort. Like. Dislike. 2. The hotel staff. Like. Dislike. The food. Like. Dislike. The pyramids. Like. The camel ride. Like. The weather. Like. Dislike. 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 Hi Sarah. I'm writing from the airport. If I were you, I'd avoid flying with cheap air. There were so many delays. The resort was nice, and the staff were wonderful, but the trip itself seemed to really drag on. The food wasn't very good either. The highlights for me were the excursions. The pyramids were amazing, and then yesterday I had a great time riding camels. It was much too hot though. You really must try to visit one day, though I'm not sure I'd go again. You should have dinner with us once we're back. I have loads of photos to show you. Lots of love, Anne. 9.9 Write a postcard recommending a trip using the prompts. I'm traveling back tonight. I can't believe my trip is over already. I really enjoyed. The town was. You really should. Lots of love. 09 Checklist. Modals for advice and opinion. Recommendations. Giving advice and opinions. 43. 10 Making predictions. When you talk about a future event, you might need to say how likely it is that the event will happen. There are a number of ways that you can do this. 10.1 Key language degrees of likelihood. New language degrees of likelihood are vocabulary idioms about time, new skill talking about possibilities. You can use different constructions to show how likely you think something is to happen. These range from certainty that it won't happen to certainty that it will happen. Will the hotel be ready next month? 44. No, the hotel definitely won't be ready by then. No, the hotel won't be ready by then. The hotel probably won't be ready by then. The hotel is unlikely to be ready by then. The hotel might be ready by then. It's likely that the hotel will be ready by then. The hotel will probably be ready by then. Yes, the hotel will be ready by then. Yes, the hotel will definitely be ready by then. 10.2 Match the statements to the correct predictions. There are lots of delays today. We probably won't get tickets. 1. I don't have much money. He's worked so hard for his exams. 3. She's a talented young pianist. 4. Look at the line outside the stadium. 5. You don't have a very good voice. My sister loves to travel. Joe goes running every day. He'll pass them all, no problem. She'll probably go to Australia one day. Our train will definitely be delayed too. She might be famous one day. He might be running a marathon soon. I definitely won't go on vacation this year. You definitely won't ever be in an opera. 10.3 Listen to the audio and match the pictures to the phrases. 10.4 Listen to the audio and mark the stressed syllables. $. Likely to happen. Unsurprisingly. Fundamentally. Might happen. 2 Essentially. 3 Surprisingly. Probably won't happen. Unlikely to happen. Definitely will happen. Predictably. 6 Fortunately. Interestingly. Luckily. Unfortunately. 45. 46. 10.5 Read the article and write answers to the questions as full sentences. Property. House prices on the rise. A. Normal goal for many young. Move into a house of their own. In many tourist areas, however, this is becoming a very unlikely goal for young local people. In resorts around the world, tourists are buying properties either as short-term investments or to live in part-time. As people from the cities or wealthy countries compete to buy the properties, it is only a matter of time until the prices rise. These prices are unlikely to be affordable for young local people. This makes it more difficult for them to remain in their own towns if they want to live independently. In the long run, there is a cost to society and communities. Marisa Kali lives in a picturesque village on a Greek island. Many of the houses in the village are now empty most of the year. There are fewer people around. It's not like it used to be, but I guess it's the shape of things to come for many island villages. Single quote. Some local governments are insisting that a percentage of all new homes built in such areas must be affordable for locals. Other governments are charging higher fees for overseas buyers. So far, these policies have had little impact on the situation. What does flying the nest mean? Flying the nest means leaving your parents' home. What 2 reasons are mentioned for buying second homes? Greater than what problem are many local young people facing in tourist areas? How has Marisa Kali's village changed? What 2 things are some local governments doing to counter this problem? 10.6 Fill in the gaps using the idioms in the panel. He's broken his arm, but, thankfully, there's no long-term injury. This is only a, okay, we'll order pizza tonight, but I don't understand this new digital system, but I know it's solution. We'll have to fix the fence properly soon. We need to sort out a meal plan. It was before the company hit its targets. The shape of things to come long term. Only a matter of time. In the long run. Short term. 10 Checklist. Degrees of likelihood. Idioms about time. Talking about possibilities. Review the English you have learned in Units 7 to 10. New language. Phrasal verbs. Narrative tenses. The past perfect continuous. Making. Sample sentence. He filled the customs form in. She always comes up with exciting plans. As we were walking home, we saw a juggler. We had already exchanged our money. He had been learning English for 2 years before he went to London. Unit 7.1, 7.3, 7.6, 8.1, 8.4. Recommendations. You must visit the palace. It is beautiful. 16. 9.1. You should wear a hat. It's very sunny. 9.5. Giving advice. If I were you, I would wear a hat. 9.6. The hotel's unlikely to be ready by next month. Degrees of likelihood. 10.1. It will definitely be ready by then. 47.